Welcome. Thank you so much for being here today. This is an auspicious day and one that we're all celebrating together because it's been a long time coming. My friend Mike Nagowski is up here somewhere. He came to me a few years ago and he says, Larry says, you're doing a great job in nursing care, but the problem is you're not creating enough of them. And I said, well, how many are we creating? He says, not enough. And so I said, well, how many do you need? And he said, 400 a year. I looked at him like he'd lost his mind. And I think you have sometimes, but in all fairness, it's a situation to where he demonstrated a need, and we took advantage of that, and we have done everything we can. They've stepped to the plate, and they have really helped us in so many different ways. But nothing's ever done alone. And so while we took many of our resources, Colonel, you might as well come on up here with me. I'm going to get you anyway. Come on up here. Yes, you didn't even know I was going to do this, did you? She's in charge of a lot of the medical care out at Fort Bragg, and we're so honored that you're here with us today. But the point being, our legislative team, some of them can be here today. Representative Diane Wheatley and Senator Kirk Deviere is here somewhere. There he is. And they were instrumental in supporting and helping us and encouraging us in so many ways. In addition to that, Scott Hamilton, you, and Brian. I started to call you Byron. I knew that wasn't right. And what you did with Golden Leaf and your willingness to step forward and help us conceptualize this thing and then have the resources to do it was extraordinarily important. And Mary, you and the Cumberland County Foundation have just continued to work with us in so many ways. And some other foundations that if I told you who they are, they tell me they'll kill me, so I'm not going to do that. But, no one does this alone. And it takes everybody to work together to do this. And so we're not going to keep you out here in the cold too long. We're going to, in a few moments, we're going to cut the ribbon. And then we're going to go inside where it's warm and there's some food. And I think, when do we do the next talking? 5 o'clock? 5 o'clock, we're going to do some talking inside for a few minutes to do a more adequate job of recognizing and thanking people that have been here doing this. But folks, this has been a dream. We made a transition, as you well know, from our child care center. And that was a hard decision to make because it was top notch. It was top of the game. But we had to make it. And then when we started looking at what we were going to do, this was a wonderful facility that could be changed and modified to fulfill the needs that we have in healthcare and especially in our nursing programs. And we've had great leaders like Dr. Murtis Worth here, who has done such a great job in leading the charge. I'm so fortunate to have Mr. Richard Lee over here, who does all the work and helping us with construction. Phenomenal jobs. And then Miss Sandy Ammons over here, who does a phenomenal job in connecting us with so many people and having us work so many ways. Thank you. And then we have our new student. This is your first day as a student body president, Student Government Association. Please give her a round of applause, and you'll hear more from her in a little while. And I'll tell you what, my boss is Colonel. One of them is standing right over here, so I'm going to be really good, and I'm not going to mess up too bad. But Susanna Tucker, long-term friend and liaison with the Cumberland County Schools, and now this is your second term as a trustee, and supports us so much in the things that we conceptualize and we try to do together. But I'm telling you, at the end of the day, you students down here, raise your hand, wave to everybody if you would, please. And over here, wave your hands. This is why we do what we do, because when old folks like me get to the point where, and I check on them whenever they go in, I say, where did you get your education? And I'm pleased to say that many of them are coming from Fayetteville Technical Community College, and when they do that, I'm honored. And by the same token, I'll tell you that the quality of the care is first rate. So that's why we're here, as you folks. This is a great tool, a series of tools that which we can do the work. Murtis Worth can help you, and Colonel, when you hire them out there too, and we'll let you and Mike fight about who gets whom. But the point being is, thank you so much for having confidence in us and being here and working with us. Mike, you're one of the premier leaders in this community, as you always are. And I just want you to know that we're so grateful to you. Now, Sandy is over here telling me to hurry up, and no more so than the rest of you, because it's cold out here. But do you still have, he has, this is dangerous. This is very dangerous. So, Scott, would you and Mary come over here and join us? Would you come over here and join us as well? We want to be, and Mike, where are you? And Sandy, where are you? Don't you stand over there. You come over here and help us. Mike, come on over here. Real close. We want you to where you can touch this stuff. Mark Sarles has been instrumental in the leadership and getting this thing ready to go. And so I think these people that are around this thing, Richard Lee, you come up here too. You've been engaged every moment of the way in this thing. And we're going to see how long their arms are. And I know your arms aren't any longer than mine, so you need to get over here a little closer. But now what you don't know is Representative Diane Wheatley is one of our nursing students from just a few years ago. She is a graduate, and she has done such great things and is going to continue to do great things in the legislature. So we're so delighted that she is here today. So I'm going to give you the honor of taking my place right here, and I want you to touch that. And I'm gonna reach my hand over here and touch it. Mike, you can too. Scott, you can. Brian, if you've got longer arms than I can, get in here. And I'm gonna come to the side here. And now I'm not really in control. It's our photographer out here. So how many 1, 2, 3s are you gonna do? Okay.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3, look here. Smile, smile. Ready, go?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, go.
All right. You're great. You did that better than I did.
I said I can do the same thing with stitches.
There you go. Once again, thank you for being here. We're going to adjourn inside. There's food and drink in there, and it's a lot warmer in there than it is out here. Thank you for coming.
I'm Sandy Ammons. I'm the Executive Director of FTCC Foundation. And isn't this building fantastic? We are so proud of it. I want to welcome you to the FTCC Nursing Education and Simulation Center. We are excited to share this beautiful new facility with you, and we look forward to the impact that this will have on our college and on the health of our community for generations to come. This project would not have been possible without the support from foundations and the medical community. The lead gift from the Golden Leaf Foundation got the project started, followed by incredible support from Cumberland Community Foundation, Anonymous Trust, the Cannon Foundation, the Elizabeth and Thomas McLean Foundation. Cape Fear Valley Health has been our partner every step of the way, and thank you, Cape Fear Valley, for your support financially and in every way. So you will see around the building there's plaques. They're temporary plaques that will be finished soon. We have many other naming opportunities available. If you're looking for a Christmas gift for a loved one, you can name an office or a room after them. There's brochures around. If you're interested in that, please let me know. And now I would like to introduce to you Dr. Mark Sorrells, who is for a few more days the Senior Vice President for Academic and Student Services, and soon will be our new president.
Thank you, Sandy. This is really an exciting day. This project started shortly after I came here. Dr. Keene had the vision. Mike Nagowski kind of pushed the demand side for us. And now we're seeing it all come to fruition. And it's absolutely a fantastic center. And it's true of what Cumberland County does. Come together when there's a problem and find a solution and make it work. And that's what I am so proud of this community doing, and our stakeholders and investors, both from Cumberland County and across the state, really made this happen. My first task today is to introduce, recognize a number of our dignitaries and special guests. We have one of our board members, Ms. Suzanne Tucker, who's here with us today. From our General Assembly, and please, folks, when you see these folks, please thank them for what they did during the last legislative session. They brought home, I think it was $480 million, the biggest payload that this county's ever received from the state at one time. So we're indebted to the delegation. Today, Senator Deviere was here. He had a commitment. He had to go pick up his son. But we do have Representative Diane Wheatley, and she will be speaking here in a minute. But Diane, thank you and the legislative delegation for all the hard work. We know you had to battle. We know you took a lot of licks along the way, but you were very successful. And we're greatly appreciative, not just from FTCC, but FSU and the entire county, because that money went to work all across this county and will make a great difference. We have the Cumberland Community Foundation, President Mary Holmes, and several of her board members are here. With the board members of Cumberland Community Foundation, I know Bruce is here. Where's Bruce? Okay, he's over there. Thank you for being here, Bruce, and thank you for the investments that you've made as well. I don't think, I thought Kathy Jensen was going to be here. I haven't seen her. Is Kathy around? Anybody seen her? Okay. How about Deputy Garrison Commander Kevin Grice? I haven't seen Kevin either. Our Womack Army Medical Center folks, where did they go? They're here somewhere, probably peering around, still looking in amazement at the things that are there. So those are our guests for the day. My job also is to recognize some of the speakers for this afternoon. So our first person that will come up is Dr. Murtis Worth. Dr. Worth came to us in 2020. She's the Dean of Nursing, and her responsibilities include working with faculty and staff to support quality in instruction and effective student learning. She has done a masterful job in really working and improving the quality of our program, but also done a whale of a job going out, doing the research. When we originally started with Golden Leaf, we didn't have this building, and we were looking at repurposing some other things. We worked that, we got about halfway through, then all of a sudden this building came available, and Murtis jumped on it and worked it diligently. So Murtis, if you would come up, please.
Thank you, and thank you all for being here. I do want to say that the project was just starting before I came to Fayetteville Tech. Once COVID hit, they changed the pinning ceremony to the drive-through here so that they could still honor the students. And actually, right around the corner, she's going to duck and hide. I see ya. Robin Kivett mentioned to Dr. Sporbert and said, hey, that this building's empty, what about nursing coming here? And so Dr. Sporbert talked to Dr. Searles, talked to Dr. Keene, and here we are today. So thank you all for your leadership in this and believing in taking nursing to this level. I'm here today to recognize first the faculty, and I want to tell you they are the best nursing faculty, hands down, that I've ever worked with. We have 20 full-time faculty in the ADN program. Raise your hands. And that is fully staffed until we come back and ask for a few more. And we have 4 full-time faculty in our practical nursing program, which is fully staffed. And where's the practical nursing faculty? Yes. So I want to give my many thanks to them for their hard work and dedication with the students. We've had a lot of growth over the last couple of years as we have been working on putting this beautiful new building and simulation center into place. And it has taken the work of the faculty and their creativity and imagination to still provide an excellent education to the students. But what this new facility brings for them is that we now have all of the basics in place and a lot of fancy basics, but they can take their creativity now, and instead of having to start at absolute ground zero of pulling every supply and everything that they would need to make that experience happen with students, we have it all in place for them and ready for it. So I feel like that is one of the things that makes me the happiest, is that the faculty have such a beautiful place to work in, and that we have students. 269 will be in our ADN program, starting in January, because we just graduated 53 in December. In 2020, there were 70 graduates from the program, the associate degree nursing program. It was a time of COVID and numbers went down. In this year, we had 89 graduates from the associate degree nursing program, and we're on target to have 130 in 2023. Yes. So even through the building of this, we've tried to focus on growth and quality, and I haven't even told you this yet. It's probably not good to do surprises like that. But we did our pinning ceremony on Friday, and we have they're not on the Board of Nursing licensure yet. They're waiting, but they have their pass results. 5 students have already taken their NCLEX and passed, and they just graduated on Friday. So we are very, very proud of them. The practical nursing program, we have 45 students in program, and they are doing excellent. We're tracking all of their numbers, and the quality is certainly improving with them. And so we are very excited, and I want to recognize all the students who came out today to show off all of this great building. They're in their Cecil blue or their green uniforms, so thank you again for being here, all of you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Murtis. It really took a lot of people to put this thing together, and a lot of people came together. I do want to recognize Metcom, our contractors that made this space happen. Thank you for being here. This idea started back in 2020 when the Golden Leaf Foundation was doing their regional grant competition. And my idea was, let's go for it. And so I talked to Dr. Keene. He agreed that we needed to do it. He had made the commitment to Mike that we were going to increase our nursing to over 400. And the only way we were going to do it was get more space because we were crammed in HTC building with 16 other programs. I immediately went and had a conversation with the Golden Leaf folks. They were very receptive. And they were seed money that helped us get resources from other foundations and from our state delegation. Scott Hamilton is the 3rd president of the Golden Leaf Foundation. He has extensive experience in economic development across the state of North Carolina, community capacity building. He's been at Golden Leaf now 2.5 years, 3 years, okay? Prior to that, he was at the Appalachian Regional Commission, and prior to that, he ran one of the state's 7 economic development partnerships in western North Carolina. Scott, thank you for the seed money and the investment you've made in Cumberland County. Not just this investment, but the multiple investments that you all have made over the past couple of years. You're making a difference across the state, and we appreciate it. Scott?
Good evening. How are we? It's a great day. It could be cold, it could be raining, but it's still a great day, isn't it? This is great. Y'all have a lot to be proud of, Dr. Keene and soon-to-be President Sorrells. This is a tremendous day, something that really shows well for the community. I have a couple of colleagues here with me that I do want to recognize, and Brian Rayner is a member of our board of directors. He's also the chair of the programs committee, and every project that gets funded or doesn't get funded goes through the programs committee, and he does a great job chairing that committee, and just has been a great board member for us from right here in Fayetteville. So Brian, thank you for your dedication to Golden Leaf. Also, Casey Ginsburg, my colleague, our Vice President and Chief of Staff. Have Marilyn Chisholm, who is a director, one of our program directors, and oversees workforce programs for us. And Miranda, she's the program officer for this project and is tasked with making sure that they're doing what y'all did what you said you were going to do. And she's pretty good at that. Reading reports, asking questions, making sure everything's going. Mark, it was March 19th of 2020 I came down here to tour and talk about this a little bit, and I remember that because I was supposed to have meetings here in Fayetteville the next day on March 20th, and that evening and the next morning everything got canceled and I headed back to Rocky Mount for about a year and a half because that's when everything just really closed down. But we had the opportunity to walk around, see this, go to the other facility, and this is just tremendous. It's something the community can really take pride in. When our board looks at funding projects, they look at, they want to know three things first. What is the clear and direct path to job creation? How is the project sustainable after our dollars have been deployed? And then how does this move the economic needle in the community? Depending upon how well you answer those questions, it doesn't mean you get funded. It just means you might get the opportunity to be asked a lot more questions. And that happened here and was able to move through, and the board funded it because of the clear path to job creation, the sustainability, how this is going to move the economic needle, not just in Cumberland County, but in the region. When you have 5 job openings for each available nurse, I think that's how that is. One person can select from about 5 jobs. That is a need that the community college is able to fill and move forward. Because when a person gets a job, that job is hope, opportunity, and dignity for them. And that's what our board really looks to, and that's why they focus so much on job creation. And this project is going to do that. And this project, by doing that, is going to make everybody that is able to be employed, the citizens, the families of those not just in Cumberland County, but around the region that get these quality jobs, are going to do so much better. So for that, I say congratulations to both of y'all and everybody else that's been involved with this. Congratulations.
So I do want to acknowledge also the staff of Golden Leaf. They've been wonderful to work with. I worked with Marilyn and Miranda when I was there for a number of years. Great ladies, diligent, and great stewards of the public monies that they're entrusted to. But that was just one of our funders. Another funder that came to the table that did a marvelous job working with us and has invested in this facility in a couple of different places is Mary Holmes, the president of the Cumberland Community Foundation. A great partner. Community foundations play such an important role for communities all across North Carolina. And those local investments, they understand the local community, they know the people, they know the needs, and they're responsive to those when they're asked to come to the table. And when we had a conversation with Mary, she came in, had Sandy and Murtis there, and really worked to help take us to another level. Mary, we would not be here at the level we are without you, the other investors that we had. So thank you for the work that you do in Cumberland Community Foundation as a partner with Fayetteville Tech. Mary?
Thank you, Dr. Sorrells. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, everybody. Congratulations to Fayetteville Technical Community College and your foundation, Dr. Worth, who is such a brilliant local talent, has guided this project so well. Congratulations to Dr. Keene, still my president. And I'm so happy that you had the wisdom to select Dr. Sorrells as the next president. Great things are ahead for Fayetteville Technical Community College. Congratulations to Sandy Ammons. When I came to tour the facility and look at the lobby that is named for the founder of the community Foundation, Dr. Lucille Hutaff. Her photo is over here. First female professor of medicine at Bowman Gray Medical Center, retired to Fayetteville and created the Cumberland Community Foundation. I came to look at this lobby and look at the simulation lab that was funded by and named after our first unrestricted endowments. Sandy made me very aware of other funding opportunities. And I loved the project and decided to make a gift personally. So I just wanted to make it all of you aware that there's lots of opportunities available, and they're described in this lovely brochure. And I highly recommend that you make a gift. If something's out of your budget, get 5 friends and do it together. It feels really good. So congratulations to Fayetteville Tech. Thank you for going from 280 nursing students to 400 nursing students. If any of you have ever had a loved one in the hospital, you know it's not the surgeon that makes the experience, it's the nurses who really affect what happens to you and your family at the hospital. So we appreciate all that you have done to bring more nurses to our community. Certainly a much needed project, and I want to thank Golden Leaf for the wonderful gift, because we love other foundations outside money, because there's not a lot of foundations in Fayetteville. We have very generous people, but not a lot of money. So we really appreciate your very big gift. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. That seed money really helped create a conversation with our legislative delegation. And when Dr. Keene and I went at the Community College Legislative Day, every one of our legislators had their doors open and basically asked the question, well, what else does Fayetteville Tech need? And they delivered on that, not just for Fayetteville Tech, but the entire county will benefit over the next 15 to 20 years from the investments that they're making. So thank you for all the members of the legislative delegation. But we have Representative Diane Wheatley, who is, as Dr. Keene said, a graduate of Fayetteville Tech's nursing. We went up at the legislative day this past spring, David and I, and we took several students with us. And she didn't want to hear from David or I. She went right to the students, and she had an intense conversation with each one of those students. This lady represents Cumberland County in a fantastic way. We're so appreciative of the work that you all did together. You came together as a delegation and fought for the community, and you won. We are so proud of you. Representative Wheatley.
Thank you, Dr. King and Dr. Sorrells. Thank you for blessing me with this opportunity, and Sandy, you too. This is a dream come true for me. Think about, you graduated from the second class of this wonderful campus when there really wasn't but a few buildings here. And all these years later, you're seeing things that people talked about and their dreams come true. What a wonderful campus this is. The nursing program to me has always been the shining star. I've been very proud to have been a part of it. I will tell you, those of us that were so blessed to be accepted in that second class and the first class that was here also, there were very few of us. 36 started in my class, 13 graduated, 9 took the boards together, and the others came along later. We all had jobs. Well, back then that wasn't easy. I walked out of Fayetteville Technical Community College the next day working at Cape Fear Valley. So glad to have a job and a paycheck. I did learn the value of taking care of people, and I learned the value of community, and I learned it here. So if you have not only, if you're a student here, but if you have children here, young people, encourage them to get all they can and the experience, because it's not just go to class. There's so much more than that you'll get from this campus and its faculty. It's a loving place, it's a caring place. And I want to say, if there's a few nursing students who's still here, I want all of you to graduate, because in another 25 years, I might be in a nursing home and I'm going to want you to take real good care of me. That is just the value of this nursing program. We have aging population, and they need great deal of care. There are mothers, there are fathers, and we want you to be sure that you're trained well, and we know you can get that right here. There's so many things I could say. I bet I have hundreds of stories and jokes I could tell you from Cape Fear, Womack Army Hospital, veterans. We worked at the Veterans Administration. We worked at the VA. We had so many things happen in a 2-year period. We worked hard, we played hard, and when we graduated, we took our place in the community. So you have big jobs to do. We're so happy for this facility. I did deliver a baby while I was back there. It was a piece of cake. We only did CPR on one patient, but they're doing fine. They're in normal sinus rhythm and breathing. So what a great opportunity to have all of this equipment here to work with. I can tell you, I would beg people, can I take your pulse? You think I could stick your finger? You know, those kinds of things, because we didn't have a facility like this one. So congratulations. I know that great things are going to happen. And when you need story time, call me. Thank you so much.
To pull a project off like this, it takes leadership, it takes vision. And Dr. Larry Keene created that vision. He assembled an excellent leadership team here on this campus. He has also made it very clear in his legacy that public service is a primary focus of his life and will continue to be a primary focus for this campus. Our new Fire and Rescue Center, which is named after Dr. Keene, the J. Larry Keene Fire and Emergency Rescue Complex, the investments that he's made on campus with the memorial out at the new Fire and Rescue, and his commitment to make sure that we have top-notch healthcare programs that meet Cape Fear, Womack, and others. It has been his vision, his work over 15 years to help bring this to fruition. And I am so happy, Dr. Keene, that your last day was not before we were able to cut the ribbon on this event. You've been a great leader, you've been a great mentor to me, and this is a celebration of you and the work that you've done while you've been here. So I'd like to recognize you, Dr. Keene, and allow you to say a few words. As Vicki would say, be brief now.
We were at a president's meeting not long ago, and somebody asked Mark Sorrell, says, how you feeling? He says, I don't know, I'm having an identity crisis. And they said, what do you mean? He said, I've been named the new president, and he said, the old president's still there. He says, I don't know one day to the next what role I'm playing, you know, but I'm telling you, you're in store for great things with his leadership in the future. Would all of our students and faculty come right out here in front real quick? Please, I'm going to embarrass everybody here for just a minute. Please come on out. Come on. Hey, you got to be brave if you're a student going to be a nurse. Come on out. And instructors, please come on out. Come on out. You know, at the end of the day, we celebrate this great building with all this great equipment. But at the end of the day, it's really about all these people. And when we can come together and collectively provide the best of the best for them to work with, for these faculty to help teach these students, and for these students to learn on the things that they're going to learn on day in and day out. I'm a little taller than that. You don't need to hurt yourself. But the truth of the matter is, this is why we do what we do. It's about the students. It's about the faculty. It's about the things that we join together to provide. And I will tell you, and someone said it much, much earlier, the benefit of our community is going to be the benefit and the expertise and the talent that we create. And there's nothing more important than what we do in our healthcare community, certainly with nurses and those others that are supporting them. And so I'd like for you to just very quickly give them a quick round of applause for getting into one of the most difficult areas of study in both colleges and universities. And then I'd like you to applaud these faculty because they pour their heart, soul, and they literally invest in their lives into the welfare and the production and the prosperity and the talent of these young people. So please give our faculty and staff a round of applause. We've always been blessed with great people, but the truth of the matter is, when they come together, greater things can happen, and that's what I think you're going to see as a result of this particular activity, this particular place. MedCon is over here. Raise your hands. You've done such a phenomenal job working with Richard Lee on putting this thing together on time and on budget. And so we do appreciate that. See, I do have to worry about that. And as I'm on my way out, I'm still talking about that. But it takes a team of people to make that happen. So Mark Sarles, Murtisworth, and Robin Deaver, Richard Lee, David Sullivan, and all those folks work over and over and over and over again to make sure that you have the resources you need to do the work that you need to do. Now, Scott Hamilton, where are you? Raise your hand, Scott. I can't see you. Scott, I was thinking a while ago, you and I started, when I knew you when I was a younger guy, neither one of us had any gray hair. You still just have a little bit. I've got a whole lot. But the point being, what a great testimony to the things that we've all been able to do together. Because when you see the results of this that can benefit people, and especially those that are suffering, these ladies and yes, even men, I call them angels of mercy because truthfully, when we need to help the most, when that new baby is welcomed into this world, it might be one of these people doing it. When those people are in fact coming out here and they're experiencing different difficulties or maladies as they progress with their lives, it could be these people that are taking care of them. And then, unfortunately, when we make that transition on to the next life, it may be these people that are the last ones to hold their hands, the last ones to give them comfort before they pass on into the next world. That is a heavy, heavy responsibility. And so everything that everybody does, everyone in this room, to support that kind of growth and that kind of development, that kind of talent, is an extraordinarily important thing for what we do. So I cannot be more pleased than to be here and be with you today to celebrate this moment. Representative Wheatley, I think I saw you sneak back there and sit down. You're smarter than I was. But the point being, without your leadership and that of your colleagues, we would not be here. For our funders, Mary, I saw you over there earlier, and others, I'll tell you, in Golden Leaf, without your leadership, we would not be here. And I want to tell Mark Sarles right now, without his leadership and that of Murtisworth and others, we would not be here today. So thank you for taking the time to join us and to celebrate this moment. It is an honor to have each of you here. It is a blessing to have each of you here. And we wish only for you, only the best for you as you go forward into the future doing the things that are going to serve these communities so effectively. Congratulations, best wishes, and was that short enough? All right, so thank you. One last thing real quick. Where is Sandy Ammons? She's a little short person over there somewhere. Where is Sandy? Sandy, come out here front and center so we can see you, please. You see, I'm still president for a little while, so when I'm still impressed. My wife told me, don't get used to that. You're not going to do that when you go home. But Sandy Ammons has been instrumental in communicating with so many of these people and getting so much support in so many ways for all these things. And Sandy, I'm forever grateful to you and Dr. Sarles for your joint work in putting this together. Eileen Hatch is over here. She does more than people know. Eileen, you're a great leader as well. It takes leadership, and it takes dedication and commitment. I'll tell you one last thing, then we'll be quiet. Years ago, we came up with the thing, it was a slogan for the entire state. And we changed what we were doing. Representative Wheatley, instead of putting everything in the kitchen sink and our legislative requests, we decided to put them down to about 3 things right in that realm. And we created a saying that says, creating success, hope, opportunity, and jobs. And even though that phrase is somewhat passé now, its impact and its importance is no less important. Because you will see that with many of these people, that they will, some of them, you don't know what the background stories are on so many of these people. They will come out of sometimes generational poverty and go into a life of prosperity. What you don't know is that has impact on them and their friends and their family that goes far beyond what they will experience themselves. And so that effort to pay it forward and to continue to do things that really matter makes a big, big difference. And the only way that is ever done, is because of great people like everyone gathered in this room today to make that happen. So we're grateful to each of you for doing the things that you do, and we would recommend that anytime you see a need or desire, please call them. I won't be here, but Mark will, and they would be glad to show you again and to do anything we can to support you in the future. Congratulations, Mark. Congratulations, Murtis, faculty, staff, and students. Well done, and congratulations. Now, go forth and do great things, okay? Thank you.